Goes to Brian Bastian of Douglas. Thane Van Eaton from Stockton takes fifth. Roger Rainey from Caney Valley takes fourth. Kyle Vogler from Oakley takes third. And in second, Tom Welch, the senior from Beloit, because he got out-wrestled by a point 5-4 by Justin Shaw. There he is, the senior from Silver Lake for the Eagles, the winner at 171 pounds. My word.
Trying your hand at poetry again there, huh?
I tell you, I have many talents. I haven't found them yet, but I'm sure. My mom tells me
Must be something in there, huh?
And speaking of moms, the moms are awful proud of these guys. Here we go, Lane Stoll, the senior from Oakley in the purple, 20-6. These guys coming in at least 275, 20-6 for the Oakley Plainsmen, going against Rob Reinig, 28-3 from Hill City for the Ringnecks.
Yeah, interesting thing. Lane Stoll beat Lucas Dinas last night in the semifinals, who's the younger brother of Josh Dinas, who took second here last year as a heavyweight.
Well, I think Dinas won it last year.
Yeah.
Is that right? Josh was the champ, right?
You're right. And, of course, Reinig comes in having beaten Dinas twice, but one of his losses is to Schubert, the man wrestling behind Dinas at Waukene, who beat Dinas off the team part of the year this year. So Stoll also has a couple of losses to Schubert, so we could see it's a pretty good match here.
Well, I bet you over at Trico Waukene High School, they had what could have been a medal match, and they wrestled off to see who was going to state between those two guys, Dinas and Schubert. So,
well, I've seen them both wrestle, and I'll tell you, if it wasn't a medal match, somebody laid down and quit.
You don't see that happening. This is a rematch of last year's consolation championship, isn't it? I think Reinig won 4-3, if I remember right.
I believe you're correct in that, because my notes say that Stoll was fourth last year and Reinig was third last year, so they must have wrestled that match.
4-3, if I have my notes right, but I do remember those two guys meeting.
Too.
Boy, the big bulls, the big boys, locking horns. Both these guys are seniors coming in, both placers last year, and again, for Stoll, he took fourth or third at his regional, so he had to really wrestle through at a disadvantage. Coming up 10 seconds in the first period. This is the final match of this state championship tournament. I can't believe it. It's really moved rather rapidly. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope to see you here next year. And it looks like Hoxie, well, no doubt about that, is going to win the team title. Oakley will finish a strong second. Plainville third. Leota, Phillipsburg, Silver Lake, Douglas right there for fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. That's the end of the first period. No score. Again, Lance Lippert, Fred Scott, Matt Side at Fort Hays State University's Gross Memorial Coliseum. Fred's been in the wrestling business since the mid-60s as a coach and official. Knows about wrestling in Kansas, and boy, he's been giving us some terrific insight. You know, most of these people, every other person in this place says, "Hi, Fred." Everybody knows you.
They think they know me.
The heavyweights again in purple. Lane Stoll from Oakley, a senior, going against Rob Reinig from Hill City, a senior, in the black and red for the Ringnecks.
A lot of people think these heavyweight matches are kind of boring, and sometimes they can be, you know, but we got to remember there's a lot of weight moving around out there. These guys are the size of the fellas that are playing in the line in the NFL, you know, and it's kind of hard to move all that around. And, you know, if you ever question it, just try to throw yourself in under 250 pounds of human flesh and see how it feels when your nose slams into that mat.
Can I'd rather not. Thank you.
You can pass.
1:25 and counting in the second period. Oh my! Lane Stoll trying to say, "I'll roll you over."
Reinig had his lower leg free there and was in the process of maybe trying to step over, but he didn't feel quite right with it, so he tried to get back belly down so that he wouldn't be in such a precarious position.
No score in this heavyweight match as they take a walk out of bounds. I'll follow if you lead. Well, I remember some heavyweight matches over the past few years since I've been coming to these tournaments here at Fort Hays State, or the state tournaments. Heavyweight by the name of T.J. Slansky from Stockton, a very tall, slender kid from Stockton, now a young man going to school at Fort Hays. He's a graduate assistant in the Health and Human Performance Department at Fort Hays. He was a GA for the football team. He's back at Fort Hays. He was a heavyweight champion. That was a great match against a wrestler. I'm trying to remember who he wrestled, but it was fun. Dane Ulrich from Phillipsburg had a great match for heavyweight in a close one. So some names pop into my head as I watch these two guys go at it with no score in the second period.
Yeah, I remember Slansky well, and one of the reasons I remember because another heavyweight about that time from Atwood was named Burbis.
Oh, yes.
And they were both about 6 feet or 8 feet tall and about as wide as a ribbon. And you couldn't believe these guys were heavyweights, but they were, and they were both excellent wrestlers.
Some good matches, 35 and counting. We mentioned the crowd here at Gross Memorial Coliseum. As I look up topside above the crowd, I see press row up there. The radio and the print people, boy, that's grown every year also, the coverage. And I'll tell you, on a week-by-week basis, you can't beat the job that these local radio stations do and the papers because they just really back these programs.
Yeah, Northwest Kansas Radio has been covering wrestling for quite a while, but we're starting to see some people here from completely out of Northwest Kansas, and we're starting to see a lot more radio and press coverage.
There's press row, KQMA from Phillipsburg, KAYS from Hays, Tad Feltz, Steve Schmidt, Gerard Welbrock, the gang. There's the press journalists over on that side. They're busy getting their story. We got quite a story because the team titles is Hoxie. Right now we've got another close one. These guys are probably feeling a little bit beat, but no score. I'll tell you, for all the work, they're not getting much of a profit out of this one. Just 2 minutes left in the season for this 3-2-1A state tournament. 2 minutes left in the match. Oh, look at this. Stoll trying to stand up, and Reinig trying to hold him down. Is he going to get away? Nope. Boy, I tell you, he's got the bear lock on him.
Well, we have to see what he's going to do here because he has to make an attempt to bring him back to the mat, and that's what Jim Worth was telling him there, the official. He was saying, you've got to try to break him down because if he doesn't try to break him back down to the mat, then he can be called for stalling. And he's already been warned once.
Don't forget the 1A state basketball tournament at Fort Hays State, March 9th through the 12th. If you like basketball, the Fort Hays State men are going to host the first round Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference game this coming Tuesday night at Gross Memorial Coliseum. The baseball team, I think, is in action at Fort Hays State March 4th.
That's something you don't see real often, a heavyweight putting in a leg move. Reinig tried to put in the crossbody right there, and of course Stoll countered out of it. He's on the verge now of an escape, but Reinig's trying to move up. Of course, referee Worth is telling him to move up, and he's giving a point for stalling there. The rule says you got to move up off those legs. You can't sit down there and hang into those legs all night. You've got to get in there, get him down, and move up out of the legs.
A lot of people are going, ooh, tough time to make that call, but it looked pretty accurate. 1-0 now. Stoll got that point awarded because of the stalling call on the wrestler from Hill City.
Now Stoll elects to give him a point for reversal, make it 2 points, and see if he can tie it up with a takedown for that overtime. Now Stoll's going to have to do some work. He likes to block with his head and stay low in there with his hips, and of course he's still making Reinig back up, and that backing up is going to be more important.
What a way to finish this tournament. 54 seconds left in the season, the match, the tournament.
Reinig needs to be going after him here if he wants to have any shot at this match at all. He's standing back and waiting for Stoll to make a move, and that's just not going to happen.
Rob Reinig, a senior, 28 and 3. He was third last year at state. Excuse me, you said what? Sorry.
We just got a stall call there on Stoll. Stoll, or something like that.
Stoll. Now you're waxing poetically.
Yes, sir. Well, I was an English teacher, see, I can do that.
2-0. Stoll still out in front. Oh, wow. Reinig looking a little frustrated. I would too.
Got 1 point there for running off the mat. Reinig went to the edge of the mat and went off to keep from losing the points, and so he got penalized 1 point for that.
25 seconds left. And the coaches from Oakley, Coach Samuelson saying, roll around, turn around, go around them. Try to spin around on top, but Reinig's not having any of that. Coach Brady Beach looking pretty calm. 13 seconds left. And he has 2 more points on that reversal. 5-0, 5 seconds left. It's going to go in the book. The wrestler from Oakley gets the win. 3, 2, 1. Out of bounds, and that's the match. Oh my, Lane Stoll had a big third period, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And he raises that right hand up, meaning number one, pointing to the fans from Oakley. The purple and gold are applauding their wrestler. Good season and good tournament for Rob Reinig. He had some good matches, but he couldn't come through with this one. For the senior from Hill City, he goes to 28-4. Lane Stoll goes to 21-6. He is the heavyweight champion of the season at 321A. And boy, what a match. It was a tough third period. Tough third period. Again, that wraps up this presentation, or at least this tournament. Let's take a look at the medal stand as we award the trophies or the medals for 189. Let's take a look at the sixth place finisher. Let's see, that is 189, yes. That is Jeff Hayfliger of Walkeny. Schoenthal of Ellis finished 5th. In 4th place, Chris Dennis of Oakley. In 6th place, Jason Lang from Hoisington. Or in 3rd place, Lang, as we said. There we go. There's Jeff going to the stand from Trigo. We'll wait for the announcer to take us through. Next is Dennis of Oakley. Or excuse me, Schoenthaler of Ellis. There's Chris Dennis of Oakley. Or no, that's Schoenthaler. Boy, this must be a special moment for these guys. 3rd place, Jason Lang of Hoisington for Coach Danny Schmidt. And in 2nd place, Keith Lasky from Onega for the Buffaloes, a junior. Boy, he was just outdone by Don Leidig from Phillipsburg. Good match, though. Great season for the Buffalo, and he'll finish 24-8. And there's another Panther State Wrestling Champion, Don Leidig, 28-5 for the Panthers. And boy, the people from Phillipsburg going wild.
Not too many folks from Hoxie leaving yet. A lot of folks are leaving the stands, but most of the Hoxie people are still here.
And I see his brother, Daryl, up there. Daryl Leidig, they used to had a nickname for him, called him Baby Huey. He was a big Baby Huey back then, and little baby brother picks up the win. At heavyweight, we'll go to the medal stand in just a second when they award those medals. But we should mention again, as we round up, wind down our coverage for this 320 state tournament action, Hoxie will be the team champion. Never in doubt coming into the finals. Oakley's going to finish with a few more points, but they're going to finish 2nd. Plainville will finish 3rd. Leota will finish 4th. And I don't know, maybe 4th, either Leota or Phillipsburg. It's going to be hard pressed. Phillipsburg might have got a few points, or they did get a few points with that pin, didn't they?
Yeah, that would have put them ahead of Leota. So they were only 1 point behind, so they're easily in the 4th place slot now.
We'll take a look at the top 10 points in just a second. We've got some point totals coming our way, and we'll give those to you. But boy, just to finish in the top 10 at state is just an incredible thing. As I said, we'll be going to the medal stand in just a second. It's been another great year of coverage. Don't forget, you'll see this replay also on KTWU in Topeka, Channel 11, Thursday, March 3rd at 9 o'clock. And next year, we'll hope to see you here in person. Again, 4 wrestlers came in with perfect records. Only 1 is leaving with a perfect record. That is Schmeidler of Lincoln. Regional qualifiers, well, you brought a lot, but only 1 can go home as the champ. We'll see the medal presentation in just a second. We have the updated team totals. Here we go, gang. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Hoxie, as we said, the team title, they're 3rd in 5 years. My word. The whole town is still here. 125.5 points. Oakley will take 2nd with 103. Plainville 3rd at 91.5. Phillipsburg 4th at 81.5. We'll finish this in just a second. Let's go to the medal stand for the heavyweight. The big guys. In 6th place, Gabe Garman from Hoisington. In 5th place, Matt Clayton from Heston. In 4th place, Scott Staub for Coach Brad Fredrickson for the Plainville Cardinals. No state title for them, but they finished very, very well in the standings. Scott Staub from Plainville, there he is. Lucas Dynish, the senior for the Trigo Golden Eagles. 2nd place goes to Rob Reinig for the Hill City Ringnecks. A terrific season. He finishes 28-4. And the state champion, will be the Oakley Plainsman. There's Rob for the Ringnecks. Lane Stahl moved his record to 21-6 with a 5-0 win over Rob Reinig. Lane Stahl, the senior for the Oakley Plainsman, gets the medal and the state championship.
And the hug.
So Hoxie, the